India has observed that there is a 40% growth in the solar energy compared to the 2004 level. Hello everyone, this is Prathyusha. Welcome to Law Excellence. In this session, we're going to comprehensively understand the growth in the solar energy, the challenges that we have been facing, and the way forward. Now, when we see the solar energy in India, why it has been critical and why it is very important for our goals. Now, when we see the solar energy is becoming a key pillar in India's energy transformation. First thing we have, it is central to the Panchamath and the net zero goals. Now, we have already been known that in the Panchamath, we have also stated that the non-fuel renewable capacities has to be increased towards 500 gigawatts and we are going to achieve the net zero emissions by 2070. Now, solar energy is one of the important factors in achieving these goals. Then it reduces large amount of import dependency. We are dependent on the import almost 85 to 90% of the crude oil from the foreign nations. Now, this reduces the import dependency. It also decreases the carbon emissions into the environment. Then there is a power deficit in the rural India. Now, as solar energy is being available from the rural area towards the urban area. Now, this will reduce the gap in the electrification and providing a continuous electricity supply to the rural India also. Now, this creates a large amount of importance for the solar energy in India. Now, let's see what is the growth, what exactly has happened in the solar sector, what are the values that have been there. Now, these can be an important, either we'll have a question in the 2026 in the prelims, or else we will be getting a question on the mains. Now, this is a very important theme which we have regarding the UPSC exams. First, let's see the data. Now, solar capacity in 2014 was only 3 gigawatts was being present, and from 3 gigawatts right now it has been increased towards 129 gigawatts, and it is almost 40 times growth has been observed in a decade period of time. Then along with that, the non-fossil fuel capacities also has been present at 259 gigawatts. Now, we have aimed at 500 gigawatts of non-fossil fuel capacities. Now, this is where we have been having 259 we have been developed. In that, more than 50% is been coming from the renewable, that is also the solar sector is being present. Then we have the non-fossil fuels is more than 50% of the total installed capacities. Now, we are very near to the achieving the targets that have been there. Then, if you see in the solar energy also, if you see the divisions that are being present. Now, the ground-mounted solar plants are being providing around 98.72 gigawatts and rooftop solar is being providing 22.42 gigawatts. Hybrid solar projects are providing 3.32 gigawatts. Off-grid solar systems are providing 5.45 gigawatts. Now, this is a data that has been updated, being stated in the PIBs also. Now, let's see different schemes that are enhancing the growth in the solar sector. First one we have is the PM Suryagar rooftop solar mission. Now, we can see the rooftop has been increasing. The people are been coming up with the rooftop installation of the solar powers. Now, we have around 24 lakh households are being covered in this scheme, and there is around 7 gigawatts of rooftop capacity is being present, and we are already giving a subsidy of 13,464 crores are being given as a subsidy regarding the rooftops. The main objective here is that free electricity is being given towards the 300 units, and this will reduce the household electricity bill in the Indian sector. Majorly, this has been promoted largely and it has been utilized in the urban areas where the electricity consumption is very much high. And we also have another scheme, the PM Kusum scheme. In this PM Kusum scheme, we're trying to promote the solar energy for the farmers. Solar pump that have been promoted in this scheme. So here we are having around 9.2 lakh solar pumps are actually being installed under the scheme, and this will benefit in the reducing the diesel use and also cutting the irrigation costs, increasing the farmers' income, and promotes decentralization of the renewable energy. Now, this will provide a continuous electricity supply for the agricultural sector. Then we are having another schemes and initiatives. One we have is solar parks and the mega projects. Now in India, we are having around 55 solar parks have been approved, and the sanctioned capacity, total capacity is around 40 gigawatts of capacities will be built up. With this, it is almost around 13 states have been having this parks have been there. Large scale investment has been present, cheaper utility scale has been there, faster capacity addition has been going on. Now through this, large amount of industrial sector is being using the solar power. Not only this, we have the manufacturing and the global hub. Now we have started the production linked incentive scheme for the solar PV models that have been there. Around 24,000 crores are being present. Now this will enhance the domestic production of the solar products, the instruments and the electronic goods that have been required for the solar power generation, like solar cells, modules and the integrated units that are being present. Now let's see what are the challenges that are being faced by the solar sector. First challenge is that we have large amount of import dependency is being present. Now import dependency because the PV cells that have been there, PV modules that have been present, they are cheaper from the imports. Whereas whenever we have been producing in the industrial sector domestically, the price has been more. Now that's why we have the PLI scheme that has been come up. Then we have grid and the storage bottlenecks. As we know, electricity is one sector where whenever it is being produced, it has to be consumed. Now, solar energy is one sector where we have to have the grid integration should be present, where the traditional grid system has to be integrated with a solar power generation system. Then also, we have to have a proper storage capacities. The battery storage capacities should be built regarding the solar energy. Then land acquisition system. So, we have the ground mounted solar panels have been present. Already the land has been very much difficult in nature. Urbanization, agriculture, the industrial development. Land is very scarce and limited. Now in this we have another competition coming from the solar sector where the land acquisition has been an issue in this sector. Then we have financial challenges facing for the rooftop. Now still, though the subsidies are being given, still we find the financial issues are being coming up. Then we have the intermittency problem, the day and night problem. Yes, some of the days we find continuous solar energy will be there. But whenever we are having the rainy seasons, now then we will have a problem of the continuous supply. Now for that reason, storage capacities should be increased. Now interlinking problems are being present regarding the solar sector. Now let's also see what can be done so that the solar sector can be improved more. India can become a global leader regarding the solar sectors. First thing is that it can strengthen domestic solar manufacturing. Now PLI scheme has been enhancing in that sector. Then expanding the battery storage and green grids. Now our traditional grid system has to be integrated with the solar system. Then promote rooftop and off-grid solar system, faster transmission infrastructure and stronger public-private partnerships. Now, private players has to be proactively and the government has to be promoting the private players in the solar sector. Now, with this, we can enhance our role in the solar system. We're already the third largest in the solar power generations in the world. And we also started, we are actively participating in the different solar alliance also. Now, this increasing in the solar power is very important for us to reach the goals that we have and support in the climate change and the SDG goals. Now, let us see the practice question regarding the solar sector. So, first, when we see the MCQ, with reference to India's solar power sector, consider the following statement. India's solar installed capacity has increased more than 40 times since 2014. Rooftop solar capacities in India has crossed 50 gigawatts. Under the PM Surya Ghar scheme, more than 13,000 crore has been disbursed as a subsidy. Which of the following is the correct statement? First, 1 only. Second, we have 1 and 3 only. Third, 2 and 3 only. Fourth, 1, 2, 3 only. Now, in the comment section, do answer the correct answer. Then let's also see one of the main question. India's rapid solar expansion reflects its commitment to climate action and energy security. But structural changes still remain. Discuss in this context the recent developments in the India solar power sector. So in this answer, you will be started writing how the change has been occurred, the data that we have been given. So we have increased our solar power capacity, yet we have large amount of structural changes are being present. So in the second half of the answer, you will be writing the structural challenges that we have been facing. Then in the conclusion way, we can write the way forward that we can have regarding the solar sector. Now with this, one of the important theme for our UPSC is being discussed. Thank you everyone.